What, you mean a string of nonsensical emojis? Fire, sword, donut, spaceman, clock, dancing lady, flashlight, thumbs up. How am I supposed to know what that means?
I ignited the flaming sword, used it to cut a hole in space and time. Mum's light flooded through it, then it closed up behind her. All good.
Oswald, my friend!
Bruce Wayne, what a lovely surprise. You certainly are getting out quite a lot these days, aren't you?
The way I see it, everyone else in this town is having fun. Why shouldn't I?
I agree. You and your insanely large bank account are more than welcome here.
We're gonna need your shrink ray, Ray.
I'm not particularly fond of that name.
Hello, everyone.
Run, Barry, run.
Run, Barry, run. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fandom Zone. I'm Charles Skaggs. With me, as always, she who makes the world worth living.
Oh,
in my opinion.
That's very nice.
Aw. So, Karen Lindsay, of course. Hello.
Hey, hello.
And welcome back for, what episode are we now? 118.
118.
For the week ending October 14th, 2017.
Right? Crazy town.
2017. So, getting a little close toward the end of the year. And obviously we're right in the thick of it for another huge episode of the Fandom Zone, as we have 8 shows this week. 8 shows.
However, we are
hashtag so many shows.
Hashtag all the shows. We are going to do an experiment where we skim some shows.
Yeah.
So if you hear me cracking a whip,
right. Whoosh.
Yep.
When that problem comes along, you must whip it. Whoosh. Whip it good.
I'm going to do my best.
Yeah, please do. The Taskmaster.
We're going to, of course, cover all the really important episodes this week, of which there are at least 4.
Yes, because we obviously have the return of the CW shows this week, including a certain show called The Flash, which I am honoring with my Run, Barry, Run shirt.
Run shirt, yep. I do have a Supergirl shirt, but it's much too small for me to wear. It's spandex.
Yeah.
And it has a little cape attached to it. It's very cute.
This is one I picked up at Hot Topic because I was already there buying Doctor Who Funkos.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Funko.
Ooh, there's a Flash shirt? Okay, I will take that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm a sucker. It is mine. So, yes.
I'll run down the shows that we're going to talk about
today. Please do.
We're going to talk about The Gifted, Season 1, Episode 2,
yep.
RX. Everything has X in it, and all the X's are capital.
That's their theme. So, of course, RX as far as, like prescriptions.
Right.
Yes.
Lucifer, Season 3, Episode 2, the one with the baby carrot.
Which is also probably a Friends episode title.
One with the baby carrot.
Yeah.
Might be, yeah. Season Season 3, Episode 1, The Premiere Girl of Steel, which is the name of a comic. The Flash, Season 4, Episode 1, The Flash Reborn.
Which is also the name of a miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Legends of Tomorrow, Season 3, Episode 1, A Rubicon, which is just the name of this episode.
And it's also a pun because there's a Rubicon.
Right.
Or Aruba-con.
Exactly.
I see what you did there, Legends of Tomorrow.
Exactly. Arrow, Season 6, Episode 1, Fallout.
Right.
And they learn how to do flashbacks on the island again.
Because, yeah. Okay.
Right?
I got nothing. No. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So obviously that's going to be another rant. But yeah.
Okay. A mini rant.
A mini rant, yes. Because we don't have time for a full rant.
Gotham, Season 4, Episode 4, The Demon's Head.
Yep.
Inhumans, Season 1, Episode 4, Make Way for Medusa, which is a title from Amazing Spider-Man 62.
Yes. Yeah, that's continuing this apparent tradition of Inhumans using story titles from Inhuman appearances in Marvel Comics. From like the Silver Age and stuff.
Right.
We had a couple of Fantastic Four references, and then now we've got this one where Medusa appeared in Amazing Spider-Man. So,
cool.
And caused a bunch of havoc, and when she was sort of like, kind of that iffy, gray, like former supervillain, but not quite good yet era. So, but yeah, so lots of stuff to talk about, and let's just dive right in.
Do.
With The Gifted, 1X02 RX, written by Matt Nix, who wrote the pilot episode, and directed by Len Wiseman, who you may find a little familiar because he directed, the Underworld movies, and a little movie called Live Free or Die Hard.
That's right.
So,
and Matt Nix is the showrunner, too, so awesome.
Right, which is no longer the worst Die Hard movie because thanks to A Good Day to Die Hard.
Right.
So now, which I'm sure that Len Wiseman's very happy about. That he never didn't make the worst Die Hard movie ever.
Right. He will not go down.
He's off the hook.
Off the hook, yeah.
Off the hook. Actually, I kind of like that one. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. I like it. So what's our A, B, and C, Karen, as we skim through this really quickly?
Okay, yes, this is our first skim. So, A story, Fixer Upper, and this is, of course, the storyline where Blink goes haywire.
Right.
Kind of ruins their underground base of operations.
Awkward.
That's right. Our B story is Drug Seekers, and this is where Kate and Marcos go off on a side mission to get drugs in order to save Blink. The C stories, I have two, Read Him His Rights. And
I like that one.
Thank you. That is where Reed is getting questioned by Turner, which is our little reunion of those two from Burn Notice.
Yes.
And her lightning brings all the guards to the yard, and that is Lorna in jail.
Shouldn't that be her magnetism? Because it starts with M, like milkshake. So, yes.
Title.
Her magnetism brings all the guards to the yard.
Magnetism brings all the guards to the yard, and her yard is better than yours. There you go. And that's
my magnetism brings all the guards to the yard. That's right. It's better than yours.
Lightning, at least with I can't think of my words today.
Yes.
Syllables.
Yeah.
Syllables. Yeah.
Yeah, that word.
Yeah. I'm Mick Rory today.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that a little later.
Mick Rory?
Yeah, because he couldn't remember an acronym.
Oh, yes. Which is one of your A, B, and C titles, if I recall correctly.
It is, exactly.
All right, so which story you want to talk about?
Well, I kind of enjoyed the drug seeker storyline with Kate and Marcos because Kate is becoming a very valuable part of the, I guess, what are they called? The
Mutant Underground.
The Mutant Underground.
I think that's the unofficial name for the group, is the Mutant Underground.
So
which makes them sound like the Velvet Underground, which is a very cool band that Lou Reed used to be in.
She's becoming a pretty invaluable part of their team. She's showing them loyalty. She's learning a lot about why they have to go underground and about what her husband has actually done. What the effect has had on them, and that she hasn't had to live with those consequences. So she learned an awful lot, and Marcos actually learned from her as well. And there's some burgeoning trust there, especially when she ran into the building.
Right.
She could have very easily been killed. So I really liked that storyline.
All right. What I liked about that storyline was that Caitlin, who essentially in the first episode apparently was only good for crying and whining about stuff.
Yep.
And which is a complete waste of Amy Acker, if you ask me.
I agree.
So you weren't quite sure what Caitlin as a character brought to the table until this episode.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay, she's a nurse, and she has some medical knowledge and can help with injuries and stuff.
Right. And not to mention that, but she was brave.
And she's resourceful.
Get them in and out of the hospital.
Right.
Very nicely. I mean, she stole scrubs, and
right.
you know, she did a lot of good stuff there. I agree with you 100% that it was a complete 180 degree turnaround.
Yeah, it was something they had to do, because I was just like, okay, I have all the other characters I get, but Caitlin. After that first episode, I'm just like, okay, they have to do something with her, because I don't really see the point of keeping her around. Now I do. Okay.
Right.
At least she had, like I said, she brings something to the table. And I know there's been some rumors that maybe she has mutant powers.
Right? Latent ones?
Yeah, latent ones. But I have to think it's from Reed's side of the family, because of what we talked about last time with the Struckers and Fenrir, which got a tease at the end of this episode. So I might be onto something here.
You might be, yeah.
So
which storyline were you least impressed by?
Let's see. Probably, well, I don't think Blink was actually a storyline, because it's just basically her fritzing out and causing all kinds of havoc. Although there were some cool effects with it.
Yeah, it was the crux of all the other stuff.
It was the framework for all the other events to circle around,
right?
From a story standpoint. But I think probably my least favorite was Polaris in, like, basically turning green is the new black.
There you go.
Because for her, now there was a cool revelation, you know, like she's basically in the slammer in this facility, and she goes to the women's shower and washes her hair, and so then it reveals that, oh, hey, she's got green hair, so everybody that was griping can just chill out. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one I was most disappointed in as well.
Don't drop the soap, Lorna. Oh, just saying.
They're not explaining her the way that they should be, and they're kind of dragging it out. Even though it's only the second episode, they really are kind of, you know, everyone is saying, well, why can she still use her power? She's got that collar on. Yeah. Well, they need to start giving out some hints about that.
My theory on that, I was wondering about that. My theory is that it was just she's too strong for that collar. Right,
but they're not giving those hints out.
No, they're not explaining what's going on.
I might understand that because of who her father is, but, you know.
Yeah, that maybe that she's more powerful than they realize.
Of course.
So we're kind of clued in because we read the comics. We know who Polaris is.
Right.
So maybe they're trying to build a mystery here, but
if they want to appeal to other people, they need to at least either clue into that or make it a little more intriguing.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay. So what did you give this episode? And we are dead on this one.
Yeah, we are. So I gave it 8.5 severed truck beds because there was this really cool sequence.
That was awesome.
Which was great. So, like, Blink's powers are fritzing out, and Blink being Clarice. Hello, Clarice. But that her powers are fritzing out. Apparently she keeps, like, showing a portal that takes her to this one place, and it might have some significance to her, probably where she was from or where her mutant powers developed first. We don't know. But apparently there's some kind of rednecky people there, and of course they've got guns because, hey, it's America.
Right.
And they're just all ready to shoot right through the portal at whatever they see. Nope. And unfortunately, this is after that one of Blink's portals kind of chopped one of the redneck guy's trucks in two.
I know, it was awesome.
And the bed of the truck comes flying into the Mutant Underground headquarters.
The guy in the truck saw the portal opening, swerved, and it fishtailed around, and it cut kind of on a diagonal, which was really cool looking.
Right.
It was a very cool effect. And for anyone who is listening to this, if you compare the Gifted to the Inhumans, the effects on the Gifted are like 1,000 times % better.
I don't know if the budget is more, but it looks it. Let's just put it that way.
Better, yeah. Okay, so
and hashtag Scott Buck sucks.
exactly. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we will. Yes, we will.
I give it 8.5 as well, the same as you. Yeah. Pairs of Scrubs, because I loved her, Caitlin's, her resourcefulness and getting them out of the hospital, and that whole sequence was really great. So I really liked it. And again, it was my favorite part of the episode.
Yeah, that was good. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from The Gifted so far.
Yeah, me too. I'm really enjoying it. You and I are pretty much on point through this whole...
Yeah, there's only like a couple. I like one you rate higher, another one I rate higher.
It's only by 0.5.
Yeah, so we're pretty, again, mostly in sync here.
Again, I put mine in early and you put yours in late.
Yep.
We really weren't... We didn't...
And I just typed right off my page, so, you know.
Yep. Awesome.
So I can... Yep. All right, so let's move on. Lucifer, second episode of the third season, the one with the baby carrot, written by Joe Henderson, directed by Louis Melito.
Right. So, ABC.
Yes.
Sorry, shtick stealing.
Yep.
I
put the little K on shtick, because it's got a K.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that is, of course, the dual storyline of the comedians.
Yeah.
But also the storyline of Lucifer getting mad about the Cineran stealing his shtick as well.
Got it.
B story is Amen, brother.
Right.
Because of
Amenadiel, yeah.
Deal. Yes, and that Dr. Linda is trying to call him Amen as a nickname.
Yeah, and it didn't quite work, did it?
No, it didn't stick, no. And then the C story, The Devil You Know, which is Pierce trying to get information on Lucifer. And I thought The Devil You Know kind of fit that. So, which storyline did you like the most?
I think my favorite storyline in this episode was Amenadiel and Dr. Linda.
Me too. I agree with you 100%.
So we had Amenadiel showing up at Lux to see Dr. Linda. That apparently she called him there to say, thanks for saving my life. Really appreciate that. And they kind of like checking in on each other. Now, remember, they had like a fling back in the day.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, when he was down the hall and her peer, quote unquote.
Yeah, but apparently they're still on speaking terms, which is good.
Again, yes.
Yeah, now that Dr. Linda's dialed in that Amenadiel is Lucifer's brother.
Right.
And she that Amenadiel thinks that his father is testing him.
Mm-hmm.
And now that he thinks that Lucifer is the test.
Yeah. Well, he kind of came to that revelation after Linda said a couple things. And then them standing there looking over all the wings. I guess it was 2 pairs of wings.
That was great because it's kind of following up on the whole issue that we talked about last time, that with Lucifer keeps cutting off his angel wings. Mm-hmm. So there's all these pairs of angel wings just lying around, and I threw out the theory. I go, well, did they just disintegrate?
Right. Nope.
They're just cluttering up the joint.
Yep, they sure are.
And Amenadiel's the only one that realizes, hey, maybe we shouldn't let everybody get something divine.
Right.
So so he and Linda end up grabbing some garbage bags and they head out.
He says, do you know where the garbage bags are? Dr. Linda, and they just kind of look at each other, and it goes to a commercial break right then. But
to be fair, she spent some time in that place, I bet.
Yeah, I'm sure she did.
So
they pack them up and
they go to a dumpster and they throw them in a garbage dumpster, and then they light the dumpster on fire.
It's a dumpster fire.
That's the dumpster fire.
Why isn't he using them to try and heal himself? Is my question.
That's a great question.
Yeah,
maybe he just feels like, okay, they're Lucifers. I don't really want any part of that. Maybe.
All right.
Like maybe they're tainted because he's a fallen angel, but
yeah, I guess.
But he's also the one that and this is where Amenadiel's kind of inconsistent as a character, because he was saying that to Lucifer, well, hey, maybe Dad is forgiven you.
Yeah, he did say that, and I do think that he is very resentful.
Right.
on one hand. He doesn't want to be.
Well,
But
as far as he knows, though, he's still the favorite son.
Yeah. I know, but
unless that's just God manipulating him.
Yeah, of course. And I think that's part of what he's having to deal with is he doesn't know what's happening because they're never talked to directly.
So
just like us poor humans.
Yeah. So do you think Amenadiel's setting himself up for a big crisis of faith?
Yeah. Well, he's already there, I think.
Okay.
He hasn't learned that he is in that right now.
Right.
He hasn't voiced that yet. And I think Linda's going to help him.
Yeah. No, I know. Amenadiel did say something that about those wings. He said that Lucifer sees the wings as trash, so I guess we're going to treat them as trash.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they grew back by the end of the episode.
Of course, yes.
So is Lucifer just going to keep them this time, or is he just going to keep doing it?
I would think at some point you have to be like, okay, I guess I'm not getting rid of these.
Right.
So I might as well just not worry about cutting them off, because I have to think it hurts, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I would think that, okay, plus you don't want those things cluttering up the joint, so maybe he'll stop now.
Okay, so what did you not like about this episode?
I didn't like the case, really. I didn't care about the comedians at all.
Do we ever like the case? Really?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. Like, if it's something like that Lucifer is directly connected to.
Yeah, the one about the priest was really good.
Yeah. We talked about that, Coleman Domingo.
Yeah.
From the first season. That was really good, so...
From ever.
Yeah. Yeah, and then anytime that Tom Welling shows up, I think things kind of grind to a halt.
Kind of.
Yeah, because his acting is just still a bit wooden.
A little bit.
So, no offense, Tom, but yeah, you could kind of like take a class, maybe. Still,
Brendan, Ralph, and Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Tom Welling. I love me because I watched Smallville hardcore, but yeah, he's not the greatest actor.
But that whole scene between him and Dan was like,
yeah.
What?
Yes.
Just bad.
Yeah, and here I am thinking, well, like, I could be watching Mazikeen instead of this, or Dr. Linda and more Amenadiel or whatever, but no.
Right. And that's where my points came off.
Yeah, mine too. So, so what was your least favorite? Is that your least favorite as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, what's your rating then?
The case is always my least favorite unless I mention it.
Okay, got it.
Particular. But Tom Welling really is underwhelming me.
Yeah, I think he's a dud character unless something really takes off out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I think he's a bad wasted opportunity here.
I wanted him to be Sinner Man. If he would have been the Sinner Man,
he might still be the Sinner Man. He might be just like posing as like, oh hey, I've been working on this case, but really he's the Sinner Man.
Cast someone as the Sinner Man.
That could be just a misdirection.
I guess it could be. All right. Well, I gave it 8 gory garbage bags.
There you go. All right. And again, we're at sync on this one. I gave it 8 angel wings in a dumpster fire.
Yeah. I like that.
Just because I love saying the words dumpster fire.
No, I like that too. I like hearing it or seeing it.
It's such a great phrase.
It is. It is. Like our neighbors.
Like my life is a total dumpster fire. Well, this is a literal dumpster fire.
It is.
So I couldn't resist. All right. Okay, so let's move on as we're kind of... Now, we'll probably talk a little bit more about this coming up. Episode 1 of Supergirl's 3rd season. Hard to believe we're at season 3 already.
Right?
Girl of Steel. And let's see, this one... Oh, I didn't tab through my notes here. Let me get through here. All right, where are you? I just lost my page. I'm totally unprofessional here. Teleplay by Robert Rovner and Caitlin Parrish, directed by Jesse Warren.
Awesome.
All right, and Karen, what's our A, B, and C?
Our A, B, and C story is Almost Human, which is Kara, of course.
Yes.
Developing Minds is Morgan Edge.
Got it.
Developing, because he's a developer.
Right.
Right. And
yeah, in this incarnation, he's a real estate developer.
Right.
Like a certain current president.
Right.
Right?
Right. Can you say agenda?
Yeah.
And then
total agenda.
cold boots, which would be Alex.
Yeah.
He's going to wear boots to her wedding, so
Right.
cold.
But she's
boots.
got little cold feet.
Right. But she's wearing boots, so cold.
Yes. Yeah.
You see where I did that.
Yeah, there's a very big awe moment at the end of this episode.
Yes, there is.
All right. So what's your favorite storyline you want to talk about?
Well,
actually, no, we're not going to be doing we're not doing the skim here, so
if you want.
That's all right. Let's go do whatever you feel like. I'll leave it up to you.
I actually enjoyed the whole Kara actually making up her mind to rejoin society at the end.
Yeah.
Especially since it was Lena that kind of brought her back.
Right.
I wasn't fond of the fact that Alex wasn't the one to do it, because she and Alex are supposed to be really close. And I think Alex just kind of washed her hands.
One of the things I don't like about this whole business, I mean, I like Lena Luthor as a character, but the way they keep playing up Supergirl with Lena Luthor, or Kara with Lena Luthor,
mm-hmm.
it takes away from Kara with Alex.
Right.
We don't get that sisterly
right
connection because Alex is off being with Maggie.
Right. And see, the whole thing was that she didn't want to get married without her father.
Right.
She didn't seem to care whether Kara would be there or not. You know, she was on the outs with Kara.
Right.
And she was like, well, I'm getting married no matter what. At one point, you know, she asked someone else to step in for her father. But if Kara came, oh well.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah, no big deal.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it because, you know, obviously they're going to have their own lives. They're not going to just be continually attached to the hip.
Of course.
But yeah, I would like to see more interaction. I think some of that dynamic is lost.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think we need to see Kara constantly with Lena or Alex constantly with Maggie.
Right.
Or with John.
Right.
You know, just it's okay to like throw a scene in here once in a while.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So that's just me.
But here's some of the things that were highlights for me. First of all, Jimmy can go back to being Jimmy.
Yeah.
Because Lena bought Catco.
Right. So he won't be in charge anymore.
Right.
Presumably.
Right. So now he can go back to being Jimmy. Lena can be Cat, quote unquote.
Right. The new Cat.
Right. So there's a good move.
Hopefully they get a new editor because I'm not fond of this depiction of Snapper Carr at all.
I don't think he's going to come back. I don't think Ian Gomez is back this season.
That's fine with me.
Right.
I did not like his character.
And then we had Morgan Edge, and he was okay so far. I mean, I'm not going to...
Yeah, it's Adrian Pasdar, who... I mean, he's essentially doing like the same role that he did on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as Glenn Talbot.
Right.
Only just not in the military.
Right. So I'm not going to say one way or the other yet because it's only one episode. He seems fine to me.
He's good at what he does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, this is pretty much like just, you know, put on a military uniform and you've got Glenn Talbot.
Right.
Right? Shave his head. Shave the side of his head.
In this case, he actually enlisted the help of a super villain.
Right.
And he didn't hate Inhumans.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I mean, that's a big difference.
Right. And we should give a little background real quick on Morgan Edge, because this is a new character that's from DC Comics. Mm-hmm. And Morgan Edge was introduced in the 70s by Jack Kirby, because there was a title that Jack Kirby was drawing called Superman's Pal, Jimmy Olsen. Correct. Which introduced the whole like concept with Darkseid and started the New Gods, the Fourth World, his kind of big opus.
Right.
And Morgan Edge was this media conglomerate guy who bought the Daily Planet and transferred Clark Kent from the Daily Planet to his TV network, WGBS, where Clark became an anchorman.
Right.
So,
So on TV, which is like the worst place.
Right. So so with that, I'm wondering if I was wondering if Morgan bought that, then would he transfer her to WGBS or whatever? But that didn't happen. Lena bought it.
True. Right.
Yeah. So that kind of went out the window. But Morgan Edge is also known because he has ties to a criminal organization known as Intergang.
That's right.
Which has basically connections to Apocalypse, and they can get their hands on some pretty high-tech weaponry to go out and commit crimes and rob banks and stuff.
Intergang is a huge part of DC Comics.
Right. So, and like the Intergang's been featured on Lois and Clark before. So they've been on TV before. So presumably, and Morgan Edge has been on. I think Morgan Edge was on Smallville. I think it was played by Rutger Hauer, if I recall correctly.
Oh, he was on Lois and Clark before too.
Right. So, so I keep wondering now that they've introduced Morgan Edge whether we're going to see Intergang now.
I would love that.
I think that would be cool too.
If he had Underworld,
because they've introduced Cadmus, which was also in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think Intergang is coming.
They seem to pull from those threads.
Right. So I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah, that's good. And also, he's a developer.
Yeah.
He wants this. He has this meeting with all these business people from National City.
Right.
And he says he wants to develop the docks. And they're not in. They're not in.
Yeah.
Right.
It's this big boardroom table where Jimmy's there, Lena Luthor is there, and neither of them look impressed.
No, and not just that, but the other people. I'm guessing it's like a city leader sort of summit.
It's like a who's who of the National City's business community.
Right. And he's saying how he wants to gentrify the docks, the waterfront area and all this. Well, they're not going for it. So he already has a plan in place, apparently, to destabilize the dock area so that he can buy it up for cheap.
Right.
And in doing this, of course, he has other things in motion there.
Which presumably is going to involve Intergang, because Intergang takes care of the property values. I could buy this up cheap.
Right.
And do what I want to do. That's my guess.
That was a storyline on Lois and Clark, was all this stuff was happening at the docks.
Right.
They were taking over the docks and doing all kinds of dirty dealings down there. And that's, wasn't Lois, she had to go undercover as a singer in a lounge down there?
Probably. Something cheesy like that, yes, probably.
Yeah.
Lois and Clark was known for that.
Yeah, no one would recognize Lois, a famous reporter, going undercover as a singer.
Right. Especially because probably her picture's right next to her headline. Right. And just saying.
In every paper.
Or she'd be interviewed on TV or whatever, yeah.
Who would know?
Yeah, who would know?
Yeah.
Or maybe she put on glasses. It's a secret identity.
Of course.
Works every time.
It does. And I think she had the same hair and everything. Yeah, but anyway.
Yes.
So yeah, he wants to buy up all this waterfront. He ends up destroying a lot of the waterfront, but Kara swoops in, saves the day. And this is where we meet our big bad as well at the waterfront.
The big bad for the episode.
No.
Or the upcoming big bad, because there was an introduction of another big bad, for the episode, Bloodsport.
Right. He was just a throwaway, though.
Right.
He's not going to show up again.
Right. He was introduced. John Byrne created him in Superman 4, Superman Volume 2, number 4, from his run. So he's kind of basically there as muscle.
Right.
To cause some chaos. But yeah, we get introduced to a character named Samantha.
Samantha Arias.
Yes, and her daughter Ruby.
Who is not in the comics.
But apparently Samantha is going to become a supervillain known as Rain.
Correct. And she doesn't know she's a superhero, apparently.
Yeah. But because of wackiness that ensues in this episode, a scaffolding falls on her daughter.
Yep.
Supergirl's not around to help her daughter.
That's right.
So I'm guessing there will be a little grudge there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's up to Samantha to try to summon up that adrenaline. Well, apparently she does that in spades because she grabs the scaffolding
Right.
and squeezes it and bends it with her hands. And
It does.
yep.
Yeah.
And can lift it right up off of her daughter.
She's one of the, what do they call those? The world breakers? World killers?
Yes, the world killers.
World killers, thank you.
Yeah.
And they're Kryptonian.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like this little, like, almost like it was like a cult on Krypton.
Right.
And so presumably, because remember they did kind of tease Rain at the end of last season.
Mm-hmm.
So that there was a like a craft like where Kara landed on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of like little pod,
Mm-hmm.
and presumably, I'm guessing that Rain was sent to Earth.
Right.
In that pod.
Right. Now, we did get something else at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
And that was when the shelf collapsed under the docks, there
Right.
was a bit of a ship down there.
Yes, there was. Why don't you tell them what that ship was?
No, what was it?
I don't know. Maybe it was something to do with Rain.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
What?
What?
Do you think it was? I'm honest, I don't know. What was it?
I don't know either. I'm just I'm guessing that it probably has some connection with Rain.
Okay, I thought it might be something put there by the Legion of Superheroes from the future.
Maybe. They've been kind of teasing.
I know they have.
Yeah, because we know that Saturn Girl is going to be appearing.
Right. And we know that someone else is coming back to the show.
Yeah, with Mon-El. So hopefully a few more Legionnaires are in store. So we'll find out.
I hope so. And then, of course, Alex got the cold feet because she didn't think her father would show up because, of course, he's still...
Because Sam Lane is still a dick.
Right.
Yeah, right?
That's true, yes. Actually, we've got...
No, I'm sorry, not Sam Lane. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I meant.
What's her name? Right?
Right. Well, no, hold on, because we're talking about Alex, so...
Cadmus.
Oh, yeah. Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So Jeremiah.
I was thinking Lane, so I'm just like, I had like Lois Lane on the brain. I'm thinking Sam Lane, but no. Jeremiah Danvers.
They mentioned Sam because he had a ship, and that's where Bloodsport got the cloaking device from. And that's where they cloaked the submarine and all that. Anyway, so she asks Jean to be the stand-in for her father and walk her down the aisle.
And this is where we get the feels, because Jean, having lost his family on Mars, has kind of unofficially adopted Kara and Alex as his daughters.
Yeah.
So now it's only natural that Alex would ask Jean to walk her down the aisle.
Yes, it was so sweet.
Yep.
Really enjoyed it.
And John was affected. He was like, "Oh, you asked me. I'm emotional. I'm so verklempt."
He is.
Yeah.
He is. And he says, I would be honored. And I love that. So
yeah. The big alien lug.
Big lug, yeah. And I think that's pretty much everything. Kara has, the whole thing about Mon-El was that she doesn't want to be Kara anymore. Yeah. She turns that around at the end. And
because she spends most of the episode, Kara was kind of annoying to me. She spends most of the time, like, whining, like, my boyfriend's gone. And everybody's like, get over it.
They have to show us that she's upset.
Yeah, I understand. But everybody else on the show was upset about it. Just like, get over it already. He's been gone for a while. Move on with your life.
At the very end of the episode, they show this kind of montage with everyone sitting around the table at the bar. Yep. And she walks in, and everyone just welcomes her with open arms, and she's all back to being Kara again. Right. So here was the deal. This set up the whole season for us, where now Kat goes in the hands of Lena,
Yeah, because Kat is now the new press secretary for President Marsden.
Which was funny. They used real stuff for
Yeah.
her.
So essentially, she's the new Sarah Huckabee Sanders, which,
No, but she's good.
yeah, well, let's hope.
She's in charge of Catco. Jimmy will be able to kind of take a back seat now. Wynn is still at the DEO.
Right.
We've got Alex and Maggie getting married. We've got a father being able to walk Alex down the aisle. We've got Kara back to almost normal. So that, we've got the whole season set up now.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, there was one thing at the end which I want to ask you about. There were at the opening of the episode, there was a scene where we get the introduction of Erica Durance taking over as Kara's mother, Allura. Thank you. And Erica Durance, of course, the Lois Lane on Smallville.
Correct.
So another past Superman show connection, which I love.
Full of.
Yeah, and any excuse to see Erica Durance again.
Monday night.
I'm all for it.
Smallville all over it.
Yeah, pretty much. But of course, no Tom Welling because he's too busy badly acting on Lucifer.
Well, Monday night.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's worth the competition.
Kind of.
But at the end of the episode, we see that same scene again. Only this time, Kara's mother turns around, and then she unleashes this ungodly scream with a demonic face. Ah!
That was Samantha dreaming that.
Yeah. So apparently, why is she dreaming of Supergirl's mother, Allura?
Don't think it's Allura.
Okay. Because we were told that Erica Durance is as Allura.
Right. I don't think that was.
Okay, but I mean, why would she have that memory? If that demon thing was not Allura, then why did it look like Allura?
Created her.
Yeah. So we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. It just didn't look like Erica Durance to me.
It was her.
It was her?
It was her, trust me. I spent a lot of time looking at Erica Durance.
So maybe it was the sister. The twin sister.
I don't know. I see what you're saying. It's Allura's twin.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Sure looked just like her.
Could be. That's a good That's a good theory.
So
yeah, all right. I'll give you that one. I like that one. I like that theory.
Okay.
All right. Anything else about this episode?
What did you give it?
I thought it was okay. It wasn't a home run for me, probably because Kara spent most of the episode whining.
Lots of setup.
And being mopey.
Yeah.
I give it 8 out of 10. Fearless Girl of Steel statues.
Nice. Because it was called Fearless Girl statue, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, because that statue across from in New York City with the across from the bull on Wall Street, that very famous statue. So, and I kind of got that vibe from this statue that got unveiled in this episode of Supergirl, that it was essentially trying to be like the Fearless Girl statue.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice.
Thank you.
And I give it 8 rebuffed pot stickers because.
Yep.
When Alex says, "Why don't you come to the tasting with me?" she says no, and Alex says, "But there's pot stickers," and she turns it down. Pot stickers, her favorite.
I know. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Obviously, this is a major crisis.
8 rebuffed pot stickers. Of course, he's turned that around at the end, so no worries.
Exactly. All right, so let's move on to the first episode of the Flash's fourth season, The Flash Reborn. And this is a teleplay by Todd Helbing and Eric Wallace, directed by Glenn Winter, who tends to direct the rather special effects heavy episodes on the CW. And there was a very big special effects heavy scene in this story.
Very big.
And very cool. Yeah, like windmill big. Let's just put it that way. So what's our A, B, and C, Karen?
And those are all showrunners.
Yes.
Wanted to make sure that got heard.
Yeah.
A story, don't settle for second best.
Okay. Yeah, that's obviously Wally.
Well, yeah, the second team.
Yeah.
Wally and...
Yeah. Oh, well, Team Kid Flash, a.k.a. Team Vibe.
Right. B story is high Speedglyphics.
Right.
Hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
If you have a problem and Barry Allen isn't around, maybe you can hire the B team.
We're
Dun, 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 dun.
there to believe you.
Nice.
Yeah,
I do
okay.
an A-team reset. You followed up with a Ghostbusters reset. Very nice. Well played. Well played.
The C story, and I have a couple of different C stories, but the first C story is Samurai Jackass,
Right. Easy for you to say.
or Belle Bad DeVoe,
I like that one. As opposed to Belle Biv DeVoe.
of course. Cracks in the Ice, and the third one is Focusing Iris, of course, because she's focused.
Right. Yeah, this is a big Iris episode.
It was.
And
Candace Patton did a really good job.
she did. I like her. I know Candace Patton's Iris gets a lot of unfair crap, in my opinion.
Well, I think they don't write her very well sometimes.
Right, but I think she's fine in the role.
Oh, yeah, I think she does great.
But yeah, I agree that the scripts don't always serve her well.
Agreed.
But this time, I think it did.
Yeah, I think she did a great job.
Yeah, she did. Because she had to go the whole range of emotions because she's like so adamant that Barry's gone forever.
Right.
And she's just like, nobody else is letting it go.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like, look, it's too much for me to bear. And you can kind of feel that that's why. It wasn't just that she wanted to move on. It's just she couldn't deal with it.
She had to shut it out.
Yeah, she had to block it out because it was just too much for her to cope with otherwise.
Right, right. And I like, one of the things that I really liked, and it's not that I took joy in it or anything.
Right.
The fact that everyone else was being really careful around her. Like, they didn't want to admit that they were working on ways to get him back.
Yeah.
As in, we know how much it hurts.
Right.
So we're really trying very hard.
So on top of all the lies that have gone on in this show,
Yeah.
and the repeated promises, oh, I'll never lie to you again. Once again, we have Cisco this time hiding the fact that, oh, by the way, guys, hey, I've been working on this ever since Barry left.
With a decent reason, though.
Yeah,
First of all, he didn't want to give them false hope in case he couldn't do it.
right.
And then second of all, I don't think he wanted to hurt Iris any more than she was already hurting.
But he hurt her anyway by lying to her.
Yeah, well, she'll get over it.
Okay. I'm
'Cause
just saying, it was kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Barry's back, I mean, if he could get Barry back, then all is forgiven. But if he couldn't, then he would have gotten her hopes up. And this one, I'm okay with.
Okay.
Aren't you?
Fair enough.
This one?
I'm okay. I mean,
I'm okay.
I get why Cisco did it, but
Right.
it's just kind of frustrating that this show cannot, because it's on the CW,
It's all about
everybody has to have a secret.
right bait switch or
Right.
misconception.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, I can't tell you, and then, oh,
Such a
the secret comes out, and the drama.
Right.
So it's frustrating.
Well, number one, it wasn't a huge drama either. Right? I mean, it was just a little tiny.
No, but
thing.
it did really upset Iris.
Yeah, well.
So I mean, just like.
At least it was realistic that it upset her too.
Yeah.
So there's that. So yeah, I liked that. I love the fact that she was so strong in this episode that when it came time to either get Barry back or really have people in danger,
Right.
she just stepped right up there and she was like, I have faith that my Barry will come back
Right.
if I step in harm's way. She did. She didn't hesitate. Barry will snap out of it.
Right.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah, because when Cisco finally does bring Barry back, he doesn't quite come back all there.
no. Now, before you go on from here, let me ask you a question. Now,
Yes.
you remember just before they went into Archer Vice.
Yes. Now we're talking about the TV show Archer.
Archer.
Yes.
Okay. They looked in back of them, and there was all that coke that they had to sell, right?
Yeah.
Right? And Archer had all these flashes. And it went, and all these flashes went through his head of what was going to happen during the next season. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And some of it actually did happen and some of it didn't.
Right.
Okay. When he was saying all that stuff and it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
You think some of this stuff is going to happen this season?
Let me tell you my theory, and I posted this on Twitter.
Okay.
My theory, because Barry starts spouting this gibberish, they're total non sequiturs, and like he's having conversations with somebody, or like he's throwing off random comments that don't make sense, like we're going to need more diapers.
Right.
My theory is that what Barry was experiencing was past, present, and future all at once.
Right.
So some of those comments are teases of his future.
And teases of some of the stuff that's going to happen this season, right?
So presumably the diapers, because we know Barry and Iris are getting married, Iris gets preggers. They have a kid or kids because, hey, we know Barry Allen has a couple of twins. So Dawn and Don Allen are some of those things the Tornado Twins
going into what's going to happen this season? Do you think?
I think some of them are. I think some of them are teases for the future because remember, like Siska was kind of like taking notes about this stuff, and remember Barry was drawing all these symbols on everything. Like when they first see him in this in the Central City Police Station, he's drawing symbols kind of like Phil Coulson was doing on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when he had all that crease stuff in his head.
Right. And John Crichton.
Yeah, John Crichton. Thank you. On Farscape, yes.
With ketchup.
Yes.
It was supposedly his blood, but it was ketchup. He said the room smelled terrible.
I'll bet it did because after a while, ketchup smells horrible when it's around for a while.
Isn't? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was drawing on everything, and there were things that he said that were from the past as well. So those we can discount completely.
But I think it just supports my theory that he was experiencing time, all elements of time at once.
Right. Because
of the Speed Force. Because with the Speed Force, it has that connection through presumably things like tachyons.
Right.
So that he can go presumably look at, because remember we know Barry is able to time travel.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the Speed Force is connected to time travel.
Which he should not do.
Which he should not do.
Right.
But remember, we know that Barry's gone into the past. We haven't seen him really go into the future, have we?
Yeah.
Oh, have we? I can't remember.
To see her get killed.
That's true. You're right. You're right. We did. You're right. Thank you.
It wasn't the far future.
No, that's my point. Is just like at some point we're going to see him go into the far future, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Now, I'm really hoping that this pans out because that kind of made me excited. Not only because it reminded me of that Archer sequence.
Right.
I love that. But I do love the Easter eggy kind of thing.
And I think that's something we need to go back and really look at because there's probably some clues for scenes that are coming up in the season.
I do too. I think there's going to be some clues.
Yeah.
Well, the diaper thing I remember, and then I didn't kill him.
Right.
There's some other.
Yeah. So presumably Barry now. They've kind of wondering. Some people are wondering if they're teasing the trial of the Flash storyline, where Barry has snapped the neck of Professor Zoom, the Reverse Flash, his archenemy.
Right, and it won't be him, obviously, but
unless somehow Zoom survives, because hey, he's a survivor.
Really?
Really?
No, that's true. I know.
Dude comes back a lot, like almost as much as the Joker. Okay, so
I know. Well, it is the Time Force. So
Speed Force, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah, that thing. Timey-wimey.
So yeah, I loved that whole thing with him talking because I was like, trying to remember everything in my head. Yep. But that did jump out at me, that one.
Right. And I do. There was one thing I loved about that when Barry's not really there, and he's in the cell in Star Labs. Joe is shaving him. Mm-hmm. And I got a lot of feels off of this because when I was in the hospital, when my colon decided to go all explode,
Yeah.
in my 17-day hospital stay,
No.
my dad, shaved me in my hospital bed to make me feel more human.
Oh.
So this is Joe, Barry's dad, surrogate dad, doing that for him, and so I just
You got choked
I got
up.
I got a little choked up by watching that.
That scene was really nice.
But I thought it was great because it's such a dad thing to do.
It is.
And
Yeah.
I really liked that, and I really liked that scene with Joe and Barry.
Yeah. And Barry actually, he knows what's going on because he looked at Joe like,
Right. Yeah.
thank you know.
Right. Yeah. But he's just trying. Yeah, Joe's just trying to make Barry feel more connected back to his former self.
Right.
And I just love that. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was wonderful, I thought. And the Samurites were awesome.
I give it a half point more for that.
Oh.
Yeah, the Samuroid. Now that's interesting because this character, the Samuroid, was introduced back during the Silver Age Flash era,
and they were pretty easy.
like heading into the Bronze Age.
Mm-hmm.
And they even recreated one of the covers where the scene where the Samuroid is holding up Wally.
Wally, right?
But he's by the sword.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
so they did so that's an Easter egg if you're a Flash fan.
Did you see that I tweeted that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait. I went and found it real quick and I tweeted it because I was like, I know that scene.
Yep. I've got the issue. Yep.
I was excited. I think I have. I have all the Flash comics.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, not the way back.
Right, but I've got a lot of Silver Age and Bronze Age, so
nice.
I have that issue. But yeah, that was cool because the Samuroid's a really obscure Flash character. That the Samuroids, so it's kind of cool to see that introduced. And then that leads us. We find out at the end of the episode, they tease this season's big bad, the Thinker.
That's right.
So that was cool. Good, played by Neil Sandilands.
Right.
And he's got like a little hench-winch named the Mechanic, who's kind of helping him. And apparently the Thinker is kind of like a cyborg in this adaptation.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And he's kind of hardwired into stuff.
Yeah.
And a little cyberpunky.
Looks like from Westworld.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it's very cool. So curious, and let's all be glad that it's not a super speed based villain as the big bad this year.
Please.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
So
of course we have Caitlin coming back, who has apparently mastered her powers, except for maybe not so much.
Yeah, we find out that Caitlin kind of doesn't remember when she becomes Killer Frost. And she's like, oh, no, not again. Right.
And apparently she's working for the guy in her bar doing something weird undercover.
Well, they mentioned the word Amunet. And that is a reference to an upcoming character called the Blacksmith, whose real name is Amunet Black. And she's going to be played by Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica.
Seriously?
If you read my blog, Damn Good Coffee and Hot, you would know that.
Well, I didn't see that yet.
Yeah. Well, it was been up for a while.
Oh, okay.
You must have missed that one. But yeah, it's on there. So if you want more details, go to Damn Good Coffee and Hot.
Okay. That's every single post.
That's okay. I'm giving you a hard time. It's okay.
Katie Sackhoff, though, I should have noticed.
Yeah,
that
but it's very cool. Yeah, so we get Starbuck on the Flash coming up, guys.
Very nice.
She's always fun to watch, and it's going to be fun to watch her as a villain.
Okay, so are we getting Harrison Wells back at some point this season, or is he gone?
I don't know. I'm guessing we do, but not yet.
Yeah, he wasn't in this one at all.
Because we haven't seen Jesse Quick either, but it's only the first episode. So I would say if we don't see him by episode 4, then there's cause for concern.
Right.
And we got the return of Peekaboo, Brittany Olford's villain,
Right.
We haven't seen for a while. I think it was like last time we saw her was like the end of the first season. She appeared in like a couple of episodes of the first season, but here, like finally, like 3 years later, we get to see her again.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Tom Cavanaugh has confirmed he will be back for season 4.
All right, there you go. Hopefully not as yet another Wells. Like another alternate Earth Wells. Is he?
Maybe more than
what's this one? Cowboy Wells?
maybe more than one.
Oh dear.
So yeah, they haven't confirmed what.
It's the Legion of Super Wells.
Yep. See, wouldn't that be awesome?
Oh, and one other thing we need to talk about before we move on.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fantastic special effects sequence toward the end of this episode where Barry, now he's donning the red, spiffy, like classic Flash red, like the tomato red style.
So nice.
And so much better than that like really crimson scarlet thing.
Yeah.
And
I love dark.
And he's got a cool belt, and he's got some lightning on his like traditional like lightning on his around his forearms, and so yeah, it looks much closer to the comics. Much better costume in my opinion.
Amazing in it.
And so he takes off, and there's this great sequence where he's trying to save Iris from the Samuroid, and he starts like running up windmills. There's a windmill farm. And
so great.
And this is where Glenn Winter comes in because this is such a really cool sequence. And yeah, so he's running up and down these things and leaping across them.
And Samuroid is like slashing them like point, and they're
they're falling, and he's running around them.
It was so amazing.
So cool.
And he's running up half of them and jumping to the next one. Oh my God, it was so great.
Yeah, so if you're a Flash fan, you're geeking it hard over this.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
I was really
cool.
geeking over it.
All right.
And of course, he takes out the Samuroid, and it says, "Welcome back, Barry."
Yep. So it's all part of the Thinker's plan.
That's right, because he thinks.
I'm thinking.
I need to get Barry back.
Yep.
Well, I need to get the Flash back.
Right. Now, why? What is his purpose in getting Barry back on track? We'll find out.
That's right.
Hopefully.
I shrugged. You can't hear it, but I
shrug.
I don't know.
Yep.
We'll find out.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else about this episode before we move on?
No, I'm good.
All right. What's your rating?
I gave it 8-ish.
Okay. What's the ish?
The ish is because I wasn't real fond of the Caitlyn thing.
Okay.
I don't know where they're going.
Are you a little more fond of it now that I told you what it's connected to?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I'll give it a solid 8.
Okay.
Solid 8.
Okay.
Bad team names.
All right.
And that's, Team Kid Flash.
Right. And everybody's like, no, we're not calling it Team Kid Flash. Nobody, even Joe is just like, son, I love you. We're not calling it Team Kid Flash. Nobody's feeling Team Kid Flash.
The one where they said it has never been Team Kid Flash.
Right.
It was never Team Kid.
I like this one. I love the special effects sequence with windmills.
That was amazing.
I liked Candace Patton's performance as Iris in this.
Yeah.
I thought she carried this one. Greg Gustin did a good job as brain-addled Barry.
So great, right?
And that great scene, of course, with Joe and Barry that I loved. So I gave it 8.5 whirling windmills.
I need to go back and rewatch that windmill scene because you reminded me, and I'm like, oh my God, I love that scene.
Yeah, it's worth watching over again. I've seen it twice. It's awesome.
It is. All right, on to Legends of Tomorrow, the opener of season 3.
Yeah, we got to get moving. A Rubicon. And this is written by showrunners Phil Klemmer and Mark Guggenheim. Directed by Rob Seidenglanz. And what's our ABC, Karen?
Hey, you need to get that looked at.
What? Seidenglanz?
Yeah. You got a problem there with
or
your
it's seed glands. I don't know, but
okay, so
I've got a bad case of seed glands.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't good.
Okay, my A story is Senseless Bureau.
Hopefully there's a cream for that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Get your dad to rub it on you. I'm sorry. That was terrible of me. I am so sorry.
I tell you this heartfelt story, and look where you go with that.
Just shit all over it. I'm really... I'm the worst.
I'm not confiding anything ever again.
Take my toys and go home.
Yeah, exactly.
A story, Senseless Bureau.
Yeah.
Of course, play on Census Bureau.
Right.
B story, Salad Days.
Yeah.
Caesar.
Yep.
Salad.
Well, you saw my rating.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
C story, we fixed it. Wait, what? Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So the Senseless Bureau, I'm guessing, is a reference to the new Time Bureau because apparently Rip Hunter's been very busy.
Yes. He has put together this Time Bureau, and they are fixing everything that our legends have messed up.
Yeah.
And Rip is just so unpleased. He has spent 5 years putting this team together.
Yeah.
And of course, it's like 2 minutes after our time team lands, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because it's been some time for Rip, obviously. So it's all timey-wimey. As far as the legends are concerned, Rip just left, and now he's back, sporting a much shorter haircut with a suit. Everybody's in business suits, which I don't get. I think it's just like we're too cheap to come up with good costumes here. Right. So
even Sarah says, "I didn't know Men's Warehouse made polyester that much polyester or something."
Something like that. I got it.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's made this whole time bureau thing.
Yeah, it's essentially like the new Time Masters, only he's in charge of it.
Right, and they're all clones of each other, and they're super serious. And
so hopefully that goes I don't know why Rip is with this.
It's nothing like him.
Yeah.
It must just be that it's because...
I hope there's some secret ulterior overlord behind this.
I hope so. Or is it just that he's matured 5 more years?
Well, I think they wanted to write out Rip and just have him show up as a recurring character.
So he'll just pop in?
He'll just pop in whenever the legends screw up again.
Yeah, okay. So
but apparently the legends have now become the Legion of Substitute Heroes.
Yeah.
Or the Inferior 5, or take your pick.
Right.
Whatever loser superhero group.
Right.
So
they're legends now.
Yeah. Right. They can't do anything right. They screw everything up.
The gang that couldn't shoot straight, isn't that?
They're complete jokes.
Right.
They almost wreck space and time.
Yeah.
So,
did apparently, and Rip had to set it all right.
Yeah. They're like the Rodney Dangerfields of the superhero set. No respect. No respect.
Well, they don't get any respect.
Yeah.
And once they show up there, Rip is there with little time portals, dragging everyone and all the dinosaurs back.
Dinosaurs.
That's right, dinosaurs.
Dino DNA.
You got my quote.
Of course I did. Come on, I'm in your brain.
I know you are. I should know this by now.
We talked about this.
He's pulling everything back to its normal time, and he's very brusque with them. And he says, "We don't need you anymore. Bye bye, shoot, and we'll take you back to 2016." And they all have to get Joe jobs,
right?
Which sucks.
Yeah, they Ray's working for some like a lame dating app, like knockoff of Tinder.
Yes.
And like Sarah's working at was it like a Best Buy or something?
No, it's a Bed Bath and Beyond.
Bed Bath and Beyond. Okay, so yeah, there's that. And I don't think Ray's working at all. Or no, not Ray. I mean Nate. I don't think Nate's working at all.
Nate was doing something.
Oh no! He was working. Well, basically, he was fighting crime in Central City with Kid Flash.
Right. Kid Flash.
So we got a cameo by Keenan Lonsdale as Kid Flash crossing over.
Right. Rory's not doing. McRory's not
Yeah,
doing.
Rory's out in Aruba trying to chill, but
Right.
turns out Julius Caesar's around.
Right. Now, this was the funny part. He's down there in Aruba, having his fun, and I'm not making any judgment on what he was doing there, but he was definitely having a lot of fun.
I'm making judgment.
Are you?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'm sure he stole some things in order to live there.
Right.
So he did. But he notices that there is a time anomaly down there. And it happens to be Julius Caesar. Now, he calls boss. Hey, boss.
Yeah.
And
Sarah, of course.
And he says, there's one of these time anachronisms here. And
I love your heat wave, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, boss. There's I found one of these anachronisms.
You mean anachronisms?
Yeah.
What are those?
Yeah. Julius Caesar's down here.
What?
I got him in my cabana.
Hey now.
I'll be in my bunk.
Then suddenly you get Heatwave becomes Jane.
Yeah, exactly.
From Firefly.
Just go see Serenity a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got Julius Caesar, and there's of course a mix-em-up. By the time they get down there, there's this whole party thing, and Julius.
It's like a frat party,
right?
So you've got a toga party,
right?
Toga.
Right. And so he's down there. Julius.
It's not a toga party, or it's not an orgy. It's a toga party.
Toga party.
Sorry, Animal House quotes just fill in my head all of a sudden.
I'm killing a guitar.
Sorry.
Just in case you didn't know what I was doing.
I gave my love a cherry. Smash.
You know who that is singing, right?
No.
It's Stephen. It's the guy who does the theme to
that.
Tootsie.
Okay.
Stephen.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, never mind.
All right. I just know John Belushi. That's all I know.
He's a singer. He's a real singer.
Yeah,
the guy.
Okay. I believe you.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay, so sorry we got sidetracked there.
Hold on.
All right. What is this bizarre segue?
What is this bizarre segue?
It's been so long since I've heard you.
Right? But that deserves it, definitely.
It did. Okay, so Caesar's there.
Caesar's there trying to recruit the frat boys and the togas. He runs off, and just as he runs off, everybody shows up, and they try to catch him, and instead they get a college guy that's dressed like Caesar. And they assume that Mick has screwed up and assumed that this was Julius Caesar, and they go, wah, 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 wah.
Yep.
But really...
Amazing!
Had the real Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
And as soon as Rip leaves, they find out that it was the real Julius Caesar. So they decide.
Well, they find, and how do they find out? Because apparently Caesar drops a gold coin that I think Nate Nick Rory
tries
to put in the vending machine to get like a candy bar or something, and it won't. Surprise! The vending machine won't take.
Right.
Why does the Time Bureau have a vending machine? I want to know.
Right. So they realize, oh boy, I guess it really was Julius Caesar. Well, let's go fix it ourselves and prove ourselves to them. So they do. They take him back to the correct time.
Yeah. And Sarah's kind of like obsessed with like getting the Wave Rider back, and like, okay, I don't want to go back to the stupid Bed Bath & Beyond. We got to do this.
Would you want to do that?
No, of course not.
Right. So
I get why she's doing it, but she's obsessed with it.
I would be.
Yeah.
So they take him back to the right time, and they have everything ready to go. And oh, by the way, they have those Men in Black blinky things. Could you co-opt that from any bigger movie? The Men in Black flashy thing?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So they take him down.
Flashy thing me.
With the flashy thing. They show him the book to say, here's what you're supposed to do here.
Yep.
Of course, Caesar sees that he's supposed to die by the hand of Brutus.
Yeah, and I'm not really down with that. So why don't we do something else?
Right. He takes the book.
Yeah, that Nate, like an idiot, left out for Caesar.
Right.
Because apparently Nate is also a moron.
There's the wait what for you.
Yeah.
Again.
So I can't really blame Rip for, like, not trusting the legends here.
No. So they haven't fixed it. And things are bad.
Yeah, they apparently can't even go back because
they can't.
Now, like the Romans took over like half the world.
Right. Right. So yeah, they have to kind of leave it up to what? To Rip, right?
Yeah. Well, what happens is the Time Bureau goes in. And then one of their top agents gets, like, captured because, surprise, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Right. Is it the girl?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. It was basically, like, looking down her nose at all the legends throughout this. So, yeah, well, I don't think you're supposed to. Mm-hmm. So she ends up, like, busted and caught by Julius Caesar. Mm-hmm. And so the legends go in and rescue her. And retrieve the book.
Right.
So
they do kind of make up for it. Now, we do see that...
Right. Ava Sharp was the agent's name, by the way.
Good. She's coming back, I'm sure.
Yeah, she'll probably be a recurring character as well.
Right.
Whenever Arthur Darvill isn't available as Rip Hunter.
She'll be the one.
She'll be the backup.
Ugh.
Probably because of filming or something, whatever... Right. Arthur Darvill's doing.
And we saw, of course, that we've lost a member. Now,
yeah,
Maya has gone.
Maya went back to 1942. Zimbabwe, was it? I can't remember. Somewhere in Africa, but yeah, apparently she's like kind of taken over like her village. And there's like a bunch of poachers there at the end of the episode that threaten to shoot her. Mm-hmm. And she uses her vixen powers through the tattoo totem.
They're completely amplified.
Yeah, and she's like not having any kind of qualms about using them on these guys.
So
she's a little more ruthless.
Yeah.
So it's like Dark Vixen.
Right. So there's a lot of speculation as to that.
Right.
Also,
yeah.
Someone is departing a little later in the season, unfortunately.
Right. I'm amazed we got him as long as we did.
I know. And that would be our professor.
Professor Stein, Victor Garber.
Victor Garber is leaving us.
Yeah.
And now we kind of see why. They're going to write it in on the show that his daughter's pregnant.
Yeah, they revealed that Lily is preggers.
Right. Now, I think that something hinky is up with that, by the way.
Right. Well, remember, she's a time anomaly.
I know.
So is the baby going to have a time head? Like, to quote Amy Pond?
A time head, yeah.
Time head.
But I think that might be why he leaves, because she's pregnant.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. To be there for the baby and decides, I want to stay and be with my grandson, daughter, whatever. Right. Time head baby.
I've always thought it's weird that he stayed, even though Clarissa and he should have been together all this time.
Yeah, well, I think he's starting to feel guilty about it, too.
Yeah.
So
we're going to have to find another half for Jack.
Yeah, so wonder if Robbie Amell's busy, if you come back.
I thought
emerge with Jax.
Why not? We already know he's compatible, right?
Right, exactly. So, and
it's very time.
And I don't think he died personally. So
I don't.
I think he's just stuck on another Earth or something. So,
so let's get him back.
Yep. So we'll see, but we'll see where it goes.
Yep.
Who ends up in the Matrix, unless somehow Jax takes it on solo.
I don't think he will, though. I think they'll get...
I would think they would pair him up with somebody.
He can't live by himself, right?
Theoretically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, especially if Martin's not in the mix, Because
Yeah.
remember, they have to periodically combine
in order to
and stay alive. Yeah. So I don't know how Martin's going to get out of that unless Jax keeps coming back and visiting Martin for like a checkup.
We'll have to find some way to separate him.
Yeah.
And then Jax will have to continue.
Right.
All right.
We'll find out.
Anything else?
Nope.
Yeah, same here. I gave it 8.5 anagonisms.
You liked that word, didn't you?
Loved it. I love that whole scene.
Yeah.
With him. I love McRory. He is by far my favorite character on the show.
Dominic Purcell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
I thought
him talk in real life
yeah.
is crazy.
Why? Because he has accent?
Accent.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even have a gravelly voice.
It's acting.
Yes, it's so good.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you give it?
I thought this episode was okay.
Yeah.
I don't really like the idea that the Legends are the screw-ups of the DC universe, especially the Atom. I mean, the Atom is like a Justice Leaguer, for crying out loud.
Oh, I know.
He deserves better, so much better. They all do, really. So I give it 8 out of 10 Caesar salads because Heatwave, Mick Rory says to Caesar, hey, Caesar, your salad sucks.
Yeah, he does, which I love, again. Yeah. Now, we did also get the news that one of our favorite DC characters would be appearing on the show.
Yeah.
John Constantine, played by Matt Ryan.
Yes. So we might have to drag out the old Dangerous Habits theme song.
We will. It's already on my tablet and everything.
There you go. Because, for a 2-episode arc.
Yep.
And
now, he might have something to do with separating them?
I think that's something else.
Yeah.
Because I think they're hinting at this big bad called Malice.
Right. See, and I thought either that was Amaya.
Yeah. Maybe Amaya has been possessed by this demonic force named Malice.
Right. Or the professor's grandbaby.
Like all timey-wimey. I see what you said. Yeah, maybe. We'll find out.
So.
Hopefully.
Those are my 2 theories.
All right. So, that's our rating. All right. So let's move on. Arrow 601 Fallout. Written by showrunners Mark Guggenheim and Wendy Miracle. Wendy Miracle.
Flashback to the island.
Yep. Directed by James Bamford. And what's our ABC, Karen?
All big-time showrunners.
Yep.
James
Bamford is just a director.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
okay.
He's the stunt guy.
Oh, that's right. But he's done a lot of these.
Yeah.
Episodes,
Yeah, he has. He's a regular director now, I think.
So, roll call. The
Bueller.
Yes, that was my.
I know it. Anyone?
Right.
Anyone?
Really, that was the only one in question. How did we not?
She's sick, in a coma.
Right. Like, for sure.
Like I heard from, her brother's sister's boyfriend that...
Oliver, why did you leave me on the island? Why didn't you come and get me personally? Because look, now I'm in a coma, for God's sake.
She totally threw up at 31 Flavors last night.
I know, right? My hair looks terrible in this hospital bed.
Yeah. I was so worried that she was going to get killed off and we would never hear your Thea impression ever again.
Yeah, right?
I was petrified. I was just like, no, don't. I don't want to lose Karen's impression.
I would still do it.
I know, but it would have the same impact.
Yeah. And I was 100% sure that Samantha was going to die.
Yeah.
So
when we talked about that, of course, the moment she said, "No, I want to stay on the island because I need to be there for my son," I'm like, "You're dead."
Dead. Yep.
Dead.
Thea was the only other one up in the air, and she's still alive.
She's in a coma. She'll be fine. She'll be out of that.
Every other person lives.
Yeah. There was no suspense whatsoever. They killed off the character we all knew was going to die anyway.
Right. And Malcolm had already died on the island last season. So, deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so my B story is therapy. Ever heard of it? because his son apparently is just left to sit on the bed all day with the nanny.
Yeah.
C-Story resting with his laurels, and I used that with a W.
I see what you did there.
Yep. Expose, but it's spelled like expose.
Right.
The mayor.
Right.
Get it?
Right.
Because he's exposed.
Right. I see what you did there.
Gunshot, because I did want to talk about Diggle freezing. He couldn't shoot the gun.
Ooh, got a little dark in here. One of my light bulbs just went out.
You were just bathed in nothingness just now.
The darkness. It's the darkness. It's Ben. Welcome back. It's Ben. Welcome back to the darkness. Now, Batman.
Charles has just become Bane.
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
What is this bizarre segue that...
Shut up, you.
It's Blaine.
We're working on it.
It's Blaine.
Okay. So let me try to see here in this limited light. But, okay, so roll call, Thea.
Right now. What is this bizarre segue that's happening right now? Blaine, Bane.
Yes. Oh, I see what you did there. That's epic. That's epic. I like that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well played.
Blaine, Bane.
Well played. All right. I give you props for that one. Nicely done.
All right, so yeah, we already
we talked about the okay. So apparently therapy. Ever heard of it? Yeah, that's
it is sun therapy.
Yeah, that's old William here, who is apparently finally back on the island or off the island and back in Star City.
Right.
Left alone at stately Queen Penthouse.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah. Although he does have a like a babysitter or something.
Yeah, it's Oliver's old nanny.
Right.
So, do you think that Samantha would have left William in Oliver's care? In her will?
Oh, she had the choice?
Yeah.
Probably not.
But she had a will, probably, right?
Presumably.
Because she had a kid.
Yeah, maybe she figured, well, if I'm dead, okay, I guess William can stay with Oliver.
No. She has parents, right?
Apparently she left the will because somehow he got guardianship of William. Or do you think that, we're just not going to address that?
I'm never going to address it. I know this already.
Yeah, well, this is, remember, Wendy Miracle showrunner. But what?
She would have let Oliver have him, right?
I would think not. She did have issues about it.
Right.
And apparently now William has issues because, hey, he saw, like, Oliver kill a guy.
Right. And he thinks he's the bad guy. Right. Now, why he's not just directly in therapy right now is just astounding to me.
Yeah, nobody even bothered. Like, he'll just walk it off. He'll be fine.
Right. And
he saw me kill a guy. Big deal.
Literally telling the nanny, just let him sit in his room.
Arrow.
Let him sit in his room. It's all good. He'll come back.
Just when you think they're crawling themselves out of the stupidity, they get pulled right back in.
You are literally creating Batman in your house.
No. A serial killer.
Yeah, a serial killer. There you go. Oh, man. This is not good.
Because remember, he idolized the Arrow.
Yeah.
And, guess what? The Arrow is now a murderer.
He's the worst. Yeah.
So my idol is a murderer, so I must be like a murderer too. Yeah.
Right. Although,
okay. All right.
like he can meet the Flash now, right? He used to like the Flash as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you can always go back to the Flash.
We should pull some strings.
There you go.
Can introduce him. So, yeah, but he lost his mom. That should be the first thing you do when you get back to the world is put him in therapy.
Yeah, at least until like Ra's al Ghul resurrects from the dead and kidnaps him.
I'm done fighting it. They're saying Ra's everywhere.
Yeah.
So
we'll go with Ra's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so there's that.
Well, I thought they called him Roz on Arrow though.
I don't care whether they did or not.
Okay, we'll just go with Raish.
They're calling him Raish on Gotham, so I'm done.
Okay. And I'm out.
Right.
Yeah.
Resting with his laurels. Apparently, Daddy is just super upset about having to, quote unquote, kill Laurel. But he didn't pull the trigger. He can't do it back in society either.
Right.
So he's resting with all that. He's looking at diving back into a bottle. Bad thing.
Yeah, again, Detective Lance, again with the alcohol storyline.
Right. Can we not go back to... literally?
Right.
Not go back to the well? I mean...
Back to the bar, you mean? Yeah.
Right. Well,
I mean, they showed him, like, staring at, like, 2 drinks.
Right.
So
2 shots.
Yeah,
exactly.
2 shots, yeah.
And then we have Gunshy. That is Diggle, who is apparently affected. Who can't shoot.
Right, yeah, because apparently now he's gun shy. Yeah, like you'd like the thing. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, he can fight. He'll still fight. He just won't use his weapon.
Right.
And then Black Canary calls him out on it.
Mm-hmm.
Say, dude, this gun wasn't even fired. You
right.
What the hell?
Yeah. Everybody's got a new outfit.
Yep.
By the way, I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, Black Canary has a spiffy new outfit.
I like it. Mad Dog has a new outfit.
Wild Dog.
I'm sorry. Wild Dog.
Wild Dog. Yeah, apparently the creator of Wild Dog is not happy that...
He hates it.
Yeah.
He says it's not his character anymore.
Right.
And I tend to agree with him. It's not Wild Dog anymore.
It stopped being your character once it went on Arrow. Hate to break it to you because...
I do have to say that I like it, though. I mean, I think it's a spiffy-looking outfit.
Right.
And I think it's more realistic.
Yeah, well, I mean, the idea behind Wild Dog's outfit was that it was something that a real guy would just throw together. A hockey mask, a jersey for a logo, and some camo pants.
Right.
Right.
But now he's rolling with the mayor.
Yeah. So he's got to upgrade.
Oh. Yeah.
He's going to upgrade.
He can't be out with them.
Yeah.
With it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I get it.
That.
And then Black Siren's...
Black Siren is blowing up the police precinct.
Yeah, so that's resting with his laurels.
Yep.
Katie Cassidy has to be enjoying being a villain.
She is chewing that scenery.
After everything she suffered through as regular Laurel on this show.
So do you think there's any chance of the new Canary getting with Oliver? I don't think there is. I think they're going to put Felicity with him.
Well, I think so too, but I'm still hoping that, okay, what if they do that, okay, Laurel redeems herself, Black Siren redeems herself, something happens to Dinah, and then she becomes Black Canary again.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Because they keep trying to complicate this.
I think that they're so dead set on Felicity being the one for him.
Yeah, I know. I think they are too. Well, because again, Wendy Miracle is dead set against it because she knows the shippers want that.
I know.
And that she's catering to the shippers, the Elicity, Team Elicity.
Right. And then at the end of the episode, we have yet again Oliver being unmasked as the Green Arrow.
Right. How's he going to get himself out of this one?
Right. I don't think he is. I think he is actually going to have to be known as the Green Arrow now.
Well, he's already trying in the next episode that we saw the trailer for.
Yeah, well,
we'll see if that works.
I don't think it will. It's too many times.
Yeah.
It's, someone's called Wolf too many times on him.
Yeah, pretty much. Or it's like, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, shoots an arrow like a duck.
Yeah.
It's Green Arrow. Okay.
We do have 2 characters coming up soon. Michael Emerson, who we don't know who he's going to play. That's going to be awesome. I love Michael Emerson.
Oh, yeah. He's always good.
Yeah. And
obviously, you know him from Person of Interest. I know him from Lost.
Well, I know him from both.
Right. But you were a big Person of Interest fan, so.
But I know him from Lost first.
Yeah.
And Kirk Acevedo's Richard Dragon. He's going to play Richard.
Yeah, he's the big bad, Richard Dragon.
So
So presumably he's the one behind Oliver's identity being exposed, presumably.
Yeah. So they're both coming soon, and we'll see what they bring to the show as well.
Yep. All right.
So what do you give it?
I give it 8 out of 10 tooth implants. Well, C4 tooth implants, because they had this guy that apparently kept C4 in his teeth. What?
Yeah, he was meant to do that. That was a plan.
Yeah, and apparently he decides to loosen it by banging his head on a table, and oh yeah, that'll just loosen a tooth right there.
Yeah.
What?
It was somewhat loose already. So
I don't know, but
I don't know either.
You keep C4 in your teeth, dude? Really?
It was dumb. Really dumb.
You want to blow your head off?
Yeah, but it was the way for Black Canary to get into the.
I know, I get that, but my point is like.
And yeah, I know it was dumb. I agree, it was dumb.
Okay.
But I like that you used it as your.
All right, you liked it at least as a rating.
And here's mine.
Yep.
Shout out to Wendy Miracle for this one. 8 new ways to flash back to the island.
What am I doing?
Face palming.
Face palming. Thank you. Yes.
Yep. And now on to 2 more shows that we can just skim here.
So all those hopes that, hey, we're finally done with the stupid flashbacks on Arrow.
Play it again. Yep. No. Although they are more immediate flashbacks.
Right.
And of course we're going to have more flashbacks to the island. Why would we not?
Right.
All right, so on to Gotham 404.
Yeah.
The Head.
Okay, so The Demon's Head, written by Ben McKenzie. Hey, that name's familiar because, hey, he plays James Gordon.
That's right.
And directed by Kenneth Fink.
Awesome.
Kenneth Fink.
That's not nice.
I don't know, maybe.
Did a good job with the directing.
Yeah, he did fine. And what's our A, B, and C, Karen?
A and C is I want life, please. Like this.
Right.
I want the knife. Please.
From the Golden Child.
Oh, I was trying to figure out because I couldn't get the quote.
Oh, yes.
All right. Got it.
The B story, Daddy's Girl.
All right.
That is from, I Want the Knife. That's, of course, the Dagger story.
Yeah, exactly.
B story, Daddy's Girl, and that is Sophia Falcone.
Right.
C story, A Riddle Wrapped.
I see what you did there. Wrapped with a R, not a W.
Right. In an Enigma.
Oh, I think that's my favorite this week.
You like that one?
That's my favorite. It was clever.
Thank you.
Very clever.
Popped right into my head, too.
Genius.
Thank you.
I'm not worthy.
Our bonus story, if you lived through the 80s, you'll recognize this. Sit, Anubis, sit. Good Gimp.
Nice.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
If you watch.
Or I would have, Pulp Fiction, bring out the Gimp.
Yeah, well. Corey Michael Smith.
Yep.
Tweeted once Anubis died. He went out the window on the show. He tweeted R.I.P. Anubis and a picture of Gollum. And I retweeted it with a quote, and I said R.I.P. Gollimp.
Nice.
So I was smashing.
Right.
And then Gimp, and then Gollum.
Did you get a like?
I got a lot of likes.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Very nice.
So yeah.
Let me know did you get any celebrity likes?
I don't know. I think he liked it.
Okay. That's
cool. He was in it. Usually
cool.
I get liked by the person.
Right.
Yeah, so I Want the Knife, Please. We're following the knife in this case.
Yeah. So we're just skimming this one. So do you have a favorite storyline?
Oh, a favorite storyline. I think it was for one thing, A Riddle Wrapped in an Enigma.
Yeah.
Because Zaz.
Right. Well, obviously.
Please.
He's so good.
He loves the rappers. He is bobbing his head to the rappers.
Well, we should set this up because, all right, so the Riddler is sending these homeless guys that he found on the street,
right,
to verbally what?
They're terrible rappers, by the way.
Yes. Well,
yeah.
You can't. Beggars can't be choosers. See what I did there? Beggars can't be choosers. Yeah. I thought it was pretty clever. So he sends these guys to the Penguin to deliver a riddle verbally,
right?
And so they rap it for him, right? And the Penguin's like, "What the hell are these guys doing?"
Now, here's one of the things I brought out earlier is in Gotham Undercover is the direction here in these parts was the rappers would get done.
Yeah.
And it was like they switched the camera angle to Oswald.
Right. To get his reaction.
Would sit here like this, and it would be like beat. What?
Yeah.
And then he'd go.
Yeah, like he's groaning, like me talk, like when we talk about Wendy Miracle.
Right. And he would, that could be anything.
Right. What is that? What is that supposed to mean? Because remember, Ed is also delivering bad riddles these days because of having his brain scrambled.
As Oswald says later in the episode, your riddles suck.
Yeah. So the first time, Victor Saz says, "How about we just torture him?"
Right.
And he's like, "I'll think about it."
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, maybe later."
He's just pretty much brushing him off.
So that happens again, like because apparently Penguin shows up at the docks or whatever.
Right. He goes to the place he thinks means something to them.
Because he's trying to make sense of this.
Right.
But apparently it's completely the wrong place of what Ed intended.
Ed thought it would be the morgue because it says lies and he means...
Yeah, so Penguin's just like, what the hell is going on? Mm-hmm. So he's getting more and more frustrated. So the second time, Ed sends the guys again with another riddle.
Right. And it doesn't make sense again. Ed has no idea where to go.
So what does the Penguin do?
Right. So Zaz is bobbing his head again. Dun, 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 dun. Yep. And when they're done, Ed goes, I have no idea what you're talking about. And the two guys are standing there, and they're in between these two big, burly, like bodyguard types. And Zaz said, well, we can always torture them, you know? And Oswald says, fine, whatever. He just had it.
Right.
And so Zaz does this thing with his head where he goes, okay. And the two big burly guys take the guys away. The rap guys, the homeless guys.
Yeah, they kind of get just like they're getting the hook off of stage, you know, like they're just getting dragged off, and you're like, you have no idea what happens to these guys, but presumably it's not very good.
They get tortured for Ed's location.
Yeah.
And so instead of him meeting Ed wherever he was planning on meeting him, he meets Ed wherever he's, hanging out.
Right.
And this is where they have their showdown. And I love that, he's just berating him. And he has the other Victor there. And there's also an interchange there between the two Victors. And he's like, I'll have Victor freeze you again. And Victor Zaz goes, what? And he goes, not you.
Not you, the other Victor.
Right. And he goes, oh, okay, whatever. Yeah.
It's great comedic timing.
Zaz is the highlight.
Yeah, we got to find out the actor's name that plays Victor because he's really good. We got to give him credit.
He is amazing. I love him.
Yeah, he's like a home run this season.
He is, and he was on the Flash as well on the first season of the Flash.
Right, because he played the Mist.
Right.
Yeah.
But he is a gem this year.
Yeah.
So good. And so there's that. And also, of course, the GIMP. I mean, we cannot forget the GIMP. And the best part of the GIMP was the very end.
Yeah, this is really freaky, like, guy that
he's like
that's like a almost like a lapdog practically for Ra's al Ghul.
Right.
And there's this one scene confrontation where like the guy Anubis like scampers across the floor and tries to bite Bruce's leg, and
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's
But
very weird.
he runs into these dinosaur bones because they're in a museum.
Right.
And when James gets up from the floor, he's holding a bone. And he notices that Anubis is like looking at the bone like a dog would look at a bone.
Yeah.
And he gets
Like,
it in.
like he tilts his head.
Right? So he throws it out the window, and that's how he gets rid of Anubis. Anubis jumps out the window after the bone.
It's like right out of a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Right. So hilarious, right? I mean, that it was just so darkly funny, this episode, in little pieces.
It was such a cartoon.
What was your favorite part of the episode?
Well, let's see. I think that's pretty much it. That's my favorite part as well. I think I just like that a lot.
Each other's brains, really, right?
Yeah. I think I'm totally in sync with you on that one because I just thought that was great.
Yeah. What did you not like? It's hard because this was a good episode.
Yeah, I love the fact that like Raish is like big. He's trying to be very subtle about this. Like he's going to the GCPD station posing as like an authority on like he's like saying he's from Nanda Parbat.
Right.
And like, this is like, one of our heirlooms or something.
His hair is all slicked back.
Yeah, he's all combed over. He's got glasses on. It's like why is Ra's al Ghul in glasses and a little tweed jacket?
Right. It looks like when Calvin gets dressed up for picture day.
Yeah, or like Indiana Jones. When he's in his like Professor Jones clothes. Just like that. So I just thought that was good. And then we had Sophia.
It'd be my least favorite part.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with that.
It's not bad. It was just not great.
Yeah. Because essentially Sophia's like, I don't want to be involved in the crime business, but Penguin shows up and that she's got like the family pressuring her to take over.
Right.
So.
And it was all kind of a setup by Oswald, who then kills the guys.
Right. Yeah. And then we ultimately find out in this episode that because Roz gets arrested.
Raish.
I'm sorry, thank you. Raish gets arrested, and sent to Blackgate Prison.
Oh, that Grinch smile.
Yeah, and he has this kind of S-eating grin on his face. Like, this is all part of the plan.
It will look like the Grinch.
Yeah. Yeah, where his mouth kind of curls up several times in the corners.
It does.
Yep.
It looked so great.
And his hair parts and is like...
Yep. It did. I mean, he looks like Ra's al Ghul, right? Yeah. So, yeah, it was that part was great. He is a wonderful Ra's al Ghul.
Alexander Siddig, you're talking about. Yeah. He's probably my favorite live-action depiction of Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, I think so. Same here.
Certainly the more, I don't know, just he has that air about him that just screams Ra's.
Subtlety.
Yeah.
But that air of
and you notice he likes to call Gordon Detective, which is a nod to Batman because he calls Batman Detective.
Yep.
So I thought that I liked that. That was like very subtle. That he keeps going like Detective.
Right.
Yeah. Which in Gordon's case, it's true because, hey, he's a police detective. He's a police detective, so yeah.
Okay, so what did you give this episode?
I gave it 8.5 out of 10 riddling rappers.
Nice. I like it.
Notice I like the alliteration.
Riddling rappers.
Riddling rappers. So I like that a lot. What was your rating?
I gave it 8.5 dinosaur bones. Dinosaur bones.
Dinosaur.
I want the knife. Please.
Please. At least you said please.
Yes, of course.
All right. So our last show, finally.
Why do we have to end on this note?
Yeah, we only got 4 more episodes, so we'll get through it.
Inhumans 104, make way for Medusa.
I'm doubting, based on the ratings, I'm doubting it's going to be back for a second season.
It won't.
And we're going to skim through this one as well. So, yeah, Make Way for Medusa. Again, this is from a title from Amazing Spider-Man number 62. So I like that a lot. At least the story titles are cool.
Title's good.
Title's good. Need a little bit more than a title to be good, though.
Right.
All right. So, what's our A, B, and C?
I'm
sorry. This is written by Wendy West and directed by David Straighton.
All right. Good. A story. Drama and Louise.
Right.
Louise and Medusa.
I made that comment that Medusa should be calling herself Thelma because that way it'd be Thelma and Louise.
Right. But drama.
Because they had a car, a convertible.
Right. Louise and Medusa searching for Black Bolt. That's
right.
DNA testiness.
Yeah.
That's Bolt's escaped twice and his DNA results.
Yeah, that's Evan Declan.
Mm-hmm. The C story is mind-boggling subplot.
Of which there are many.
Yes. So I have Karnak and Weed, Maximus and the Council,
right?
Crystal Lockshaw, Dave and Audrey, and then Gorgon and whatever the heck is happening with Gorgon and
those guys. The surfer guys.
The guy and the surfer guys.
The surfer military guys. What's up? Yeah.
And I wanted to mention here that Chris is the only Inhuman that uses her powers in this episode.
Well, because of the way this story has been set up, that Medusa doesn't have her powers anymore because her hair was shaved off, and Black Bolt has to be hesitant about using his.
Right.
Karnaks are all screwed up.
Right.
And poor Lockjaw got injured by a stupid ATV.
Mm-hmm.
So he's out.
It's so dumb.
Yeah. And Gorgon just kind of standing around.
It's just so dumb.
Yeah, well, it's just because, again, it's Scott Buck, showrunner, being cheap. And the show looking cheap and being cheap. So I'm sure it made Disney happy because, hey, you probably got it in under budget. Way under budget. I'm guessing.
Way under budget.
Way under budget.
It's this show.
It's below under budget. It's that low.
Yeah. When I looked for reviews online about the show, the average is like a 4 out of 10.
Right.
For the show. We are being generous.
We are very generous, but.
Okay, so Louise and Medusa searching for Black Bolt. DNA testing this. What is your favorite storyline?
Yeah, that's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is obviously a Medusa-heavy episode.
Which means it's terrible.
Right, because Medusa is paired... You've got a character that is very aristocratic, paired with Felicity Jr. in the form of Louise. And I kept calling her Felicity Jr. on Twitter.
Right. Felicity and Hurley are on this show.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So, you've already got like other two actual actors from Lost on this show.
Yeah, I know.
But I think my favorite story is probably, if I have to pick one, is probably Karnak.
Really?
Kind of. Well, for the simple fact that, okay.
Judging.
What's up, everybody? My name is Joshua Yale, and I have seen the IMAX.
Okay.
Sorry.
That could just kind of popped in out of nowhere.
Did you hear that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. It was an automatic video that came on in my other browser.
No problem. But, it's kind of tough because, I don't know. I guess Black Bolt's kind of cool because you had Desmond from Lost in it.
You could like the Karnak.
Yeah. The reason. Well, here's the thing, though. Karnak he's one of my favorite Inhumans, so I'm already kind of drawn that way, and I like the fact that they actually laid it out that his abilities are screwed up.
Right.
Okay. And they're having him. It's kind of weird to see him actually kind of being attracted to someone, especially a human.
Right.
But they're doing that, and they've got these guys. They're jealous that obviously Karnak's eventually going to kick their asses.
Right.
So just waiting for that payoff.
See, and the weakness for him is that he can't tell the future.
Right. And he's like a little weirded out because he's never been in the ocean because he was on the moon.
Right.
So you get that little bit. And so it's like, okay, I guess we're doing skinny dipping now. And it's like,
well, not quite.
Well, yeah, they got down to like swimsuits practically. Oh, yeah.
Where is it?
But they did kind of make out, so there you go.
They did more than make out, I think.
Yeah, probably. And these guys are like watching them from hiding on the beach.
I know. Gross. Gross.
Like, we're really pissed off about this, but we're going to keep on watching this.
Yeah. It was just bad. And I'm not talking about the storyline. I mean, those two guys.
I'm not saying it's great by any means.
I get it.
But of the storylines, this is probably my favorite.
Yeah. Now, here's my issue with the show.
Okay. Of which there are many, probably.
There are 8 episodes.
Yeah.
We're junking it up.
Yeah.
With a lot of crap that's unnecessary.
Well, they decided to split up the Inhumans, and they're trying to pair them off with these humans, so that, like, hey, we have these outer space characters, and we're bringing them down to Earth to ground them to our reality, like fish out of water, all these fish out of water stories.
If they had 13 episodes, I'd be on board.
Right.
They only have 8.
We don't have time for this, Scott Buck.
Right. So I didn't mind Crystal, Lockjaw, Dave, and Audrey.
Right.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of funny that he would call his ex-girlfriend, and there's all this hatred between the two of them. And then she goes into the barn, and she's like, what the what?
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Well, yeah, because her reaction to seeing Lockjaw. Now, I felt bad for Crystal in that scene because, like, the wannabe vet shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And then these two start bickering because, hey, they had a bad breakup.
Crystal's kind of...
And I would be like, hey, can you fix my dog?
Look at my dog, please?
Shut up for a minute and fix my dog.
Right. And she's like, oh, well, Dave will want that shirt back. Come on, just look at my dog, please.
Yeah.
I have no agenda here.
Yeah, exactly.
There's that. Now...
And we still don't have any explanation of where the hell is Triton.
I know.
Right?
So many things that they're just not getting to. I still like Maximus. I think he is really... Ian is doing such a great job.
Ewan, yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people are liking Louise.
Really?
Yes, a lot of people. And I say, look, I think...
They must be Felicity shippers.
But she moves her mouth real funny all the time.
She
and it
does.
Really my nerves.
Yeah.
And she's like,
yeah, she overacts with her face.
Right.
Yeah.
So the fact that Louise and Medusa are paired up together, it's just like, oh my God, it's a soap opera every single moment that they're together.
Well, and it's funny. I think it's funny because Medusa just it keeps walking off, ignoring her. Like she steals her laptop. Louise's laptop goes walking off to try to find Black Bolt.
But Louise keeps letting her sit alone, so it's her fault, right?
Yes. Well, I guess I should keep a better close of an eye on that. I guess I don't know, but
yeah, or maybe explain to her that you're there to help because it's so far.
I keep waiting for Medusa to just turn around and snap hard at her, like, will you leave me the hell alone?
Right.
I got things to do. Now,
give me back the laptop and I'll take my car and I'll leave.
Right. Now, we did finally get some resolution because we got Black Bolt and Medusa reunited at the end of the episode. So finally we have two Inhumans reunited.
Yes.
Episode 4.
And we do learn that Declan is in bed with Maximus, although I don't think he knows what Maximus is, who he is.
No, because he's never met him, or they've just communicated.
He's a government agent or something.
Right, because he's wanting to do DNA tests of Black Bolt, and he thinks he could he's saying Declan says, "Oh, I can make a cure to help people." And Maximus is just like, I don't think we're going to do that.
No, but he wants to use it in order to make himself an Inhuman again.
Yeah.
So there's that. And he killed all the council, Maximus, so for his friend.
Yeah.
Friend. And I put quotes around that.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did get a little... And Gorgon, who knows what's going on with him? I still don't get his subplot at all.
Well, his whole thing is like, okay, I'm going to fight Orin. But...
Again.
Yeah.
He's just stomping around in the...
He's like he has no idea where to go, so he's kind of just spinning his wheels, or his hooves in this case.
And he's left all of these guys behind now with their dead friend.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for your help and everything, and sorry about your dead friend, but I got things to do.
Going to leave you all here.
Bye.
In the middle of the
Peace
forest.
out.
Right. So wrong. Yeah, it's too much. Yeah. Too much junk.
Right.
And
then Bargain Basement Cyclops is Morris.
with the very old Doctor Who helmet on.
Yeah, like the bad 70s Doctor Who costume on.
The very old Cybermen helmet.
Yeah.
On. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, and he is still alive.
Yeah.
How unethical is it of them to just leave him there on Earth, writhing on the ground, and drive away?
Right. Apparently he's a major threat.
Yeah.
Everybody was freaking out like, oh, don't use him.
Right.
Because he's dangerous, but okay, we're going to use him.
But now Black Bolt and Medusa and Louise and all that, they've just left him on the ground.
Unless they're just like, well, he'll show up again later, so we'll just deal with him later. I don't know.
It's so unethical of them.
Yeah, I agree.
And they put the other chick in the back of the car. So,
yeah,
whatever. It's just too much. And the special effects, compare this
to The Gifted.
To the Gifted.
Yes.
It's like night and day.
Right.
Like literally, this is daytime shining on graphics that are horrible.
Right.
And that is daytime shining on graphics.
The Gifted is that it has genuine tension.
Yeah.
And, things are happening.
Right.
It's moving forward.
Special effects wise, too.
Right.
I mean, it's just...
They made the smart choice. Hey, we're keeping our group together to see how they interact before we split them up.
Right.
Like a good showrunner would do.
Right. Well, they did take the father away, but that's all right.
Yeah, because nobody really liked him anyway. And he doesn't have powers, so it doesn't matter.
There you go. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's so different, the two shows.
Right.
Yeah.
But we kept all the people with powers together, is my point.
Right. Yeah, this is just dumb.
Yeah.
Inhumans, just dumb. It suffers from no Whedons.
Yeah.
No Whedon.
It could definitely use Joss Whedon's help.
It could definitely use his help.
Yeah.
So, what do you give this episode?
I was feeling generous because I have no idea why. I gave it 7.5 ignited gas tanks.
Yeah. And I was just a little less generous than you. I give it 7 toy rocket ships.
I don't blame you.
There is some good acting on this show.
Right.
Despite the terrible writing.
Somewhere in there's a good show. It's just...
Well, okay, I love Lockshaw, although there wasn't very much of him. Yeah. I like the girl who plays Crystal. She's good.
Right.
And I definitely like... what's his name? Ewan,
Ryan, yeah.
Right. And Anson Mount.
Right.
Play Black Bolt and Maximus. I like both of them as well. So I hate to just completely discount the show altogether.
Right. We'll see what happens. I only got 4 more, so.
But it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
So, okay.
It should have been much, much better. Let's just put it that way.
Now, before we go, we do have a little bit of feedback. And here it is.
Okay.
Hi, Karen and Charles. So many superheroes.
Hi, Justina.
So we find the Girl of Steel rather broken in the first episode, which makes sense. If she had been her regular sunny self, I don't think that would have been consistent with the storyline. But she's a rather distracted Supergirl, which is why I think she was a little bit more injured by that torpedo than she normally would have been. I really love that Alex said that Kara Danvers is her favorite person, and Kara needs to think about that before she pushes that side of herself out of her life. Thankful for Wynn bringing the funny in this otherwise serious episode and the concept of the family that you choose. Also happy that Lena bought Catco, because I think that means maybe we'll see more of her. Yay! Supergirl gets 8 out of 10. Not even for free pot stickers? Right. Then there's Flash. In the season finale, Nora told Barry that he was going to go into the Speed Force and have a rest. But I'm not sure the Speed Force was very restful. His brain seems to be chock full with all sorts of crazy things. Like perhaps he saw multiple timelines, multiple possibilities, so much information that it caused him to obsessively write those symbols all over. I was a little bit disappointed that Barry came out so soon. I wanted Barry back, but I was hoping for a couple of episodes where we would see the rest of Team Flash functioning without Barry. But I am super interested to find out which part of Barry's ramblings will be little hints to what will happen later in the season. He said we need more diapers. That's a weird one. I'm going to put a pin in that and see what happens. And Killer Frost isn't completely gone. It'll be very interesting to see the struggle between Caitlin Snow and Killer Frost as the season progresses. Legends are out of a job for breaking the timeline? Oh, this is never going to work. Sinks, showers, and stuff? Someone's going to get assassinated for sure. Something that really stood out to me, Rory has completely assimilated into a team player. He called Sarah boss on the phone, even after the Legends had been disbanded and he was on vacation in Aruba. The Time Bureau really reminds me of the Men in Black with their little flashy things. And I love the 2 cool time portals, too. Here, Rexy, go through the nice portal back to the Cretaceous period. Good dinosaur. And anachronisms stacked on top of anachronism, both on a world scale with Julius Caesar and on a personal scale with Stein's daughter Lily, who is not supposed to exist. And now she's having a baby. Not supposed to exist 2 generations going. Very interesting. Episode gets 8 out of 10. Sharp, sinks, showers, and stuff employees. And Arrow. There was some fantastic fight choreography in this episode. And Katie Cassidy is deliciously evil. I hope that's not all we get of Slade. I hope he comes back later. And I know my opinion is not popular, but I am really, really happy that it looks like William is going to be a part of this season. We've seen Oliver the Playboy, Oliver the Hero, Oliver the Mayor, and I'm super interested to see Oliver the Father and balancing that with superhero and mayor. Although maybe he won't be mayor very much longer. Star City probably doesn't want a vigilante to be their mayor, so he might be losing that job soon. Curtis and the T-Spears were awesome. And this episode gets 8 out of 10 big belly burgers with cheese and without cheese because Felicity is adorably prepared for everything. Have a super week.
You too, Justina. Great minds think alike on some of that stuff.
Yeah, and we kind of explained our theory on what the deal is with the diapers.
Yeah.
For the Flash, so I think they're teasing that like somewhere down the road, Barry and Iris have a kid.
Yeah. And again, I don't listen to her comments ahead of time. All I do is pick the background noise. So it's nice to hear that we're having similar thoughts. And she was dead on with her scores with us, too.
Yeah, pretty much. So
we're all thinking the same.
So thank you, Justina. Welcome back. About time.
Welcome back, Justina. Well, the CW shows are back, so that means back.
So no excuses now. So you have to...
So if you would like to leave feedback like Justina, and there's no excuses for interview either, by the way.
Right.
It
doesn't have to be Justina.
Right.
Everybody, this is open to everyone. Everybody can, either write us a feedback or, email us a feedback or, hey, record some audio. You could do that too, just like Justina did.
That's what she does. She actually emails us at fandomzonecast@gmail.com. You can also just, DM us. DM us on Facebook at facebook.com/fandomzonepodcast. You can, message us there. We see it all the time.
Exactly. If Phil Parrish can do it, anybody can do it.
Or Ruthie.
Ruthie. Yeah, we haven't heard from Ruthie for a while.
I have. She says hi.
Well, hi. Hi, Ruthie. How are you?
Yeah, hi, Ruthie.
We miss you. We miss you.
course, we are on Twitter at FandomZonecast as well. So you can do that. And then listen and subscribe to us in Apple Podcasts and leave us a review, because that is how we get seen by more people, and that will help us much.
Yeah, we could definitely use your help in spreading the word of the Phantom Zone podcast, especially now that we're right back in the thick of things here in our fall season. So if you help spread the word, my people.
Right. So how can they get in touch with you?
With me, of course, at Charles Skaggs on the Twitter machine, at Charles Skaggs on the Instagram, Google Plus for all you crazy kids on the Google Plus, Facebook, of course, at Charles Skaggs, and my blog of geeky things.
Damn good coffee and hot.
Damn Good Coffee and Hot, where I talk about all kinds of comic book and sci-fi news and movie goodness. Lots of trailers out recently that I post a lot of stuff on. And, like the Justice League movie or, all kinds of goodness. Mm-hmm. So the upcoming New Mutants movie came. They just had the first trailer for that, and how cool was that?
That's a horror thing. Right?
Yeah. So they're doing the Demon Bear saga if you're a New Mutants fan. So looking forward to that.
Kitty kids.
Yeah, and then talk about possibly, if that does well, we'll see Warlock and Karma down the road. So I want to see Warlock on the big screen so bad.
Okay, and me?
And you, where can they find you on the interwebs?
At Oliveria on the machine, and also at Allie's_stuff. And in my bio, at both places, you can find a link to my blog, at which you can find all my other links. And I had mentioned that I was going to do a running of the gnomes.
Yes, yeah. How did the running of the gnomes do?
It was amazingly fun. I tweeted some pictures, so you can look on.
Actually, I know, but I wanted to ask for the show so that you could tell everybody.
At Alveria has some pictures of me as a pink-haired gnome running around, making a heart. We made a heart in the water, and we also went into what for a gnome is an enemy city, but it's really my home city because I'm not Alliance.
Right.
And we licked the leader of that city, and he ended up killing us, of course, because we're not we're Alliance. He does this whirlwind thing with an axe, and we all went and died. It was fun though.
So how much did the running of the gnomes raise for charity?
That is what I'm about to tell you. Our goal was $5,000 this year.
Yeah.
And raised drum
roll, please.
$16,365.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so it was a record amount of money for cancer research, and it was the Cleveland Clinic and the creators of the Tuohy vaccine. I don't know how to pronounce it. Tuohy, Tuohy vaccine. And hopefully we're getting really close to a cure for breast cancer. And that was just amazing. We were all kind of in tears at the end of it.
That is awesome. That's great. And it has to feel rewarding.
It does.
Something you put that effort in, and then just to get such a tremendous response back, and for such a good cause.
Right. We were just at the goal when we started the run, which was kind of where we were looking at, and we were refreshing it all the time. And by the time we were done, it was about at 12,000. And then by the time the weekend ended, it was at about 15,000. So I just looked, and it was 16,000.
That's great.
I want to thank anyone who listened and listens to us and donated. If you did, thank you so much for doing that. And
if so many cancer affects so many people, all over, and I'm sure some of you out there have been affected by cancer. So any chance that that we get to say F cancer,
yep,
let's do that.
That's it. And a lot of the names of the gnomes were things like that. Were like F cancer or tiny titties.
Okay.
Like that. Well, with D's,
Yeah, I got it.
Because they're gnomes.
Right.
So tiny.
Yeah, I got it.
Titties.
I got it. Yeah.
And it was a lot of different breast cancer
Lowercase D's.
Right.
Yes.
Well, except for the first, you don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
First letter, you can't have any uppercase, so it's just the first. So tiny.
Got it.
It's so dumb that I have to feel like I need
I think it's adorable. That's not dumb at all.
But anyway.
It's adorable.
There were lots of breast cancer names. Breasts.
Right. Got it. There were lots of puns.
A tiny fight. It was all kinds of.
Yeah.
All pink-headed gnomes. So great. Just thousands of us running, and it was amazing. We estimate there were probably 3,000 or so.
Okay.
It's hard to tell because we're sharded, like we're all in instances. Right. We can't all show up at the same time, so the server kind of portions us out.
Right. Now, were you able to record video off it?
Yes, there's several different videos. If you go to, I posted a post about it on my blog.
Okay.
If you go to the link there and go to their Facebook page, they have posted videos.
Awesome.
Of it, so you can watch. Yes.
All right.
So yeah, please go and watch some of the video. It's hilarious. It's really great. There were some live streams, and it was really a great time. I would like to say, as a parting note, I'm going to have something organized in March for MS. March is MS month.
Oh.
So I'm going to do something WoW related then, and I expect you to participate in that one.
I will definitely participate because I know how much that subject is dear to you.
Good. It's my birthday month, and it's also...
There you go. Help celebrate Kieran's birthday by helping out this cause.
MS Awareness Month as well.
Yeah, I will definitely do that.
Show up and be an undead and shamble around.
There you go.
So that'll be in March.
Okay, just keep me posted. Keep us posted.
So I've rambled long enough.
No, that's great. That's awesome.
Okay. So that's it for this week.
Yes.
And we shall see.
Yeah, we're going to do this all over again next time for episode 119.
That's right.
And so start watching the shows because the clock starts again for next week.
And put your feedback in, please.
Here we go again. Yeah, send us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you. So with that, we'll see you next time right here on the Phantom Zone podcast. Bye, everyone. Hashtag Scott Buck sucks.
Oh. Scott Buck sucks. Wow.